In this video, I want to talk a little bit about when you have to take rules. I wrote a few rules down here of turkey hunting. The rules of turkey hunting: don't overcall, set longer. Always make sure you have back cover. The list goes on and on. Well, I wrote some of these rules down. I'm going to be talking in this video about when you have to take the rules that's orthodox. Now, the word orthodox means a traditionally accepted rule. In other words, it's worked. It's been proven, it's been tested, and the methods have worked time over and over. But sometimes you got to take them orthodox rules of turkey hunting, and if you're going to be successful, you got to do this: rip them up and throw them over. We don't like to do it, but sometimes you got to do that. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Orthodox. The meaning of the word orthodox means traditionally accepted as right or true, established and approved. In everything in life, there's an orthodox way to do things the right way. In other words, traditionally, it's just been proven over and over and over again by many different people, not just one or two people. That's the right way to do it in order to be successful. There's an orthodox way to build a house. There's an orthodox way to drive a car. There's an orthodox way of just doing everything in life. Well, when it comes to hunting, it's really the same thing, and especially turkey hunting. We got our rules that you've heard me explain on here for years. Don't overcall, sit against a big tree, don't move, don't be moving as much, and try to sit longer, and all these rules that you've heard me preach and live by, and I really do believe that, and I do it 95% of the time. But there's going to come a time in your turkey hunting experiences where you're going to have to take them rules, wad it up in a ball, and throw it over your shoulder and say, okay, we got to do something different. I did a video a few months ago about doing something different and how that'll make you be successful. Well, it's still true. Now, this past Sunday, the turkey I killed Sunday, totally unorthodox. I mean, there's no way a person that would have been stuck in their mind to set in a blind and have decoys or just sit against a tree and wait, no way this person could have killed this turkey, because it was a totally unorthodox way of killing him. I crawled, I got around, and if you'd have seen the setup that I was set up, it was the most terrible setup that you ever would imagine killing a turkey in. I wasn't even against the tree. I was against a little sapling about the size of my body. I mean, it was just 2 or 3 saplings around. I was kneeling up behind this sapling. It was just, it was crazy. And I just knowed that I was going to get busted and the turkey was going to go out of there. But hey, it's the last day. He wasn't coming to me. I knew that there was no way that he was going to be called. I was going to be able to call him all the way up to where I was at, and I seen him, and I knew the way he was going, and I just got him. I just went around the hill, used the train, got in front of him, and when I got over there was no place to set up. And if you'd have seen how I killed this turkey, it was just a terrible setup. But I was successful. I got him into about 45 yards, and I was able to take probably the last turkey of the year for me. So what? But what if I would have got just dead set in my mind? No, I'm going to set up here and I'm going to start calling, because that's the right way to do it. And maybe he'll come strutting and gobbling up through here, and if he don't, then I'll just watch him walk out and you'll walk away. Well, I could have done that. And a lot of guys would have, but instead, I just knew by the way this turkey was acting, he wasn't going to come to a call, and I knew the way he was going, and I knew about where he was going. So what would I do? Well, what's the smart thing to do? Well, do something different. Use the train to your advantage. That's where woodsmanship comes into play. Get ahead of him, sit there and wait on him, and then when you get over there, what happens? There's no big trees. There's no place to set up. You got to make the best of a bad situation. If you look at turkey hunters that are, that travel or or you may not even travel. You just tag out every year. I'm talking about killers, people that are just known turkey killers, and they can go about anywhere in the United States and be successful. There's one thing they usually have in common: they're not dead set in their ways they hunt. You know, a lot of you watch Dave Owens on the Pinhoti Project, and maybe some other guys that's got YouTube channels that are real killers. And the one thing about Dave that I really enjoy watching is because he's not an orthodox turkey hunter. Now he's like me in a lot of ways, that he does the same thing, you know, every day. He calls, sets up, but there's sometimes you're going to find them turkeys that just are totally crazy. They're going to totally do something different, and you got to figure it out, and you got to make the best of a bad situation. So orthodox is the best way to hunt. Setting up against a tree, not overcalling, doing all the rules, right? Doing all the right rules. But you're going to find a turkey every once in a while that's just going to totally do something totally different, and he's going to be a weirdo that you're going to have to do something totally the opposite way and be unorthodox. Just throw the rules out the window. So don't get just blocked in your head that you got to do the same thing every day in order to kill one. Like I said, never would have killed that turkey the other day. No way. If I would have just been set in my head that I got to do the same thing that I've been doing. For time's sake, let's talk about just a couple of times that I totally go unorthodox and throw all the rules out the window. Now, 95% of the time, I'm going to stay within them rules because they've been established over and over and over, and that's usually how turkeys do. But every once in a while, you're going to find a turkey that's just going to go totally crazy, and he's a weirdo, and he's just going to do something totally out of the ordinary. And guess what? If that's the turkey you're hunting that day, and that's the turkey that's gobbling, and that's the turkey that you're working, you got to let the turkey tell you what he wants. A couple of years ago, right here in Virginia, I was hunting with a couple of guys, friends of mine. We hunt together every year, and this turkey that we got on, you're seeing a little bit of clip of it right now, but this turkey that we got on, this was the craziest turkey. And you go back on the channel here a couple of years ago and watch this hunt, and you'll even hear me say when we go up to pick the turkey up, man, that's not even how you do it. That's not even nothing. I mean, everything that we did on that turkey is not what you're supposed to do. But the turkey wanted more calling. He just wanted you to stay constantly on a call, and when I try to shut up and let him come find me, he'd walk away. Every time I'd start, yelping and cutting, and I'd cut real hard, and here he'd come back. And, and then when I'd shut up and let him come looking for me like they normally do, then he'd start going away, and he'd start leaving us. He goes 80, 90, 100 yards. And then when I start cutting and I'd start, getting all crazy on a call, he'd come back to about 60 and 70. And that's what I had to do with this turkey. I mean, we did this for almost 3 hours of just totally staying on a turkey call. And I'm telling you, it was crazy. And I remember sitting there telling my cameraman that day, I'm calling way too much. This is terrible. I'm calling way too much. I need to shut up. But the turkey would never come in. He would always come in closer when I stayed on a call. Now, that's unorthodox. You've heard me preach that, all year long, and for all these years, don't overcall. But that's one situation out of 100. That may be one situation of a turkey that for some reason he just wants that hen to constantly be talking to him, and he's coming to her. So what do you do? Well, if that's what he wants, that's what I'm going to do. See, you can't get blocked in your mind that I got to do it this way. Now you remember the video I did about the public land hunter, in Missouri a couple of weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, or whatever it was, and he was calling. And I was showing you that. Some of y'all watched that video, and that's normally what happens. They're going to hang up. You're going to have to shut up. That turkey did what they normally what they do when you overcall. So because that turkey hung up across the fence line where we couldn't hunt, I knew to shut up and let him come looking for me. But because he stayed in one area. But on this particular turkey I'm talking about a couple of years ago, every time I'd shut up, he'd go the other way and start going over. And every time I'd hit that call and call to him real hard, he'd come back. And finally, we got him in by doing that, and it was crazy. And I even said it, like I said in the video, this is not what you're supposed to do. But what if I'd have got dead set in my mind? Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. It's not right. I'd have never killed that turkey. Sometimes you just got to take that, all them, good stuff that you learn, and pitch it over the hill and let the turkey tell you what they want you to do. Now, another time I might go totally unorthodox is when I have a turkey, and you'll have this sometime or another in your turkey hunting experience, and if you haven't already, you will. You'll always have a turkey where it's on the property line that you can't hunt, and you're over here, and he's gobbling his head off, and he's just on Farmer Fred or Farmer Jones, and you can't hunt over there because if he catches you, even looking over his way, he's going to call the law. You know them type of guys. And it never fails that them turkeys will be over there gobbling their head out. Why? Because, well, they're not pressured. Turkeys ain't pressured. They're over there where nobody's bothering them, but that's where they're at. And that's the only gobbler the entire day that's gobbling. So what do? Well, what I do is sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I will get right over as close to the fence line as I can, still be legal on my side, and I will totally hammer that turkey, and I will call and shake the trees if I have to get him fired up to come over there. Now, listening to this, you might say, well, hey, Matt, you're overcalling, and you've been preaching to us, not to overcall. Okay, like the guy on the public land that was trying to get the turkey over on the public. Now you're saying to do the same thing he did. No, here's the difference again. I knew by the public land turkey, the way he was acting, I had to go orthodox. I had to go with what works generally at the time. Shut up, because he's hung up. He's over there. He's hung up. He's totally just not moving, and he's going to gobble, and he's going to stay there all day as long as you keep calling to him. Now, what you didn't see in that video was before the guy come in there, calling. When I was calling to him myself early that morning, I was doing the same thing he was doing, calling to this turkey, getting him fired up, totally just trying to get him double gobbling, triple gobbling. I was trying to get him fired up, and I was cutting and I was doing all this, what he was doing, until the turkey got down there so far and he hung up. When he hung up, then I started playing the orthodox game. I started totally just doing everything the normal way. Okay, now if a turkey is out there and he's gobbling, and he's on Farmer Fred or Jones or whoever over here, and he's coming, and next time you hear him, you're cutting, and you're what you would think over calling, but he's coming closer, and then he's coming closer, and then he comes closer. When I got a turkey doing that, man, I'm going to stay on that call, and I'm going to totally shake the trees until he gets on my side. Now, once he gets on my side, a lot of times I'll shut up, and play the game again, play the game the way you're supposed to, and I'll let him come on and find me. And in fact, I had to go back through the archives of my pictures and show you turkeys that I've actually called off property lines and did exactly that scenario that I just explained. These turkeys you're seeing right now, I've done that same thing to over and over again. Get them on my side, get them fired up, get them on my side, and then shut up and let them come looking for me. So you're kind of going against the rules at first, but then you're going to play the rules at the very end. And sometimes you just don't play the rules at all. You just got to, you just got to go in there and just totally throw all the rules out in order to kill that turkey. Every turkey hunt's different. Don't get mentally blocked to doing the same thing over and over again. Go back to your season this past year. If you had a really tough season, like most of us did, if you had a really tough season, maybe you didn't kill a bird, but you had encounters. Go back and think about, what could I have done different? Was I too set in my ways? Could I have crawled on that turkey a little bit differently? Could I have moved another 15, 20 yards if I'd have just had the courage to do it? Could I have maybe not called as much, or maybe called a little more? Think about how the turkey was gobbling, and that's how you get better and better and better every single spree. So again, stay with the turkey hunting playbook, the orthodox way of stuff that's worked over and over and over, years and years and years of people doing it. Stay and keep that 95% of the time, but don't get so mentally blocked that you stay there 100% of the time. Do something different. And when you do that, you're going to start filling more tags, and you're going to start seeing your kills go way up when you just sometimes break the rules. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Just take a moment and hit that subscribe button down in the corner. I'd really appreciate it. Also, join my Facebook page. Just hit the link down in the description and like and follow me there, and stay with me all year long. I really appreciate it. And check out the website, DaleOutdoors.com, SpringFeverCustomCalls.com, where you can check out my signature series box call and all the great calls there. Spring Fever, the Spring Fever YouTube channel. Please take a moment and like them guys and subscribe to them over there as well. We got one more turkey hunting video probably this year that's going to be up maybe next week, and then that will end it for the turkey season. But hey, stay tuned. We got a lot more stuff coming, maybe in the summer, and also deer season's going to be sneaking up on us before you know it. So I will see you in the next video.